What I'd like to talk about here is what makes geology at Sul Ross special, and it's really where we are. We're in the Big Bend. It's the location. We like to call it a natural outdoor laboratory for our field studies and for our research. Hello, I'm Kevin Urbanzik. I'm on the faculty in geology at Sul Ross. I've been on the faculty at Sul Ross since 1991. That means it's almost 30 years now. I feel like I know a lot about the place. So the department has individuals who specialize in a variety of kinds of geologic studies, and that includes like vertebrate paleontology, the study of dinosaurs and stratigraphy, and excellent evidence of that kind of science in the Big Bend. We're really good with basic petrology, which is a study of sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, which we also have really good examples of here. I personally study volcanoes. The Big Bend is really known for the volcanic activity that occurred here in the past, and that's one of my specialties, is really the geochemistry and evolution of lavas and magmas that formed lavas. We also have individuals that study plate tectonics, which is that theory about the Earth's crust. The surface is composed of these individual plates that move and interact, and then we have structural geology that's a result of that, evidence of rock deformation that's associated with plate tectonic activity in the past. We also study hydrology and hydrogeology. We look at water and how water is either on the surface of the earth or in the ground in the form of groundwater. We study rivers and geomorphology. At Sul Ross, not only are we in this excellent location with the classroom outside, but we have the opportunities to go there. In our undergraduate and graduate classes, almost all of them have field exercises that are required. So every semester we're going to Big Bend National Park or Big Bend Ranch State Park or other locations where we can study these natural features.
I love studying geology here at Sul Ross because of the unique location we're in. We have everything from volcanoes to ancient coastlines and everything in between. We have a variety of rivers, mountains, deserts, and forests that we can easily study, which makes this the perfect place to be.
We have an excellent set of laboratory equipment. That starts with just basic rock preparation. We make thin sections and we make rock samples that are analyzable with other equipment that we have in our labs. We have a scanning electron microscope. We have an analytical tool that's called X-ray fluorescence, which is a beautiful tool for determining chemistry of rocks. By the way, the scanning electron microscope, it's a great visual tool. You see very small objects, and you can also analyze chemistry with that. We also have X-ray diffraction, which is another tool that it's an analytical technique that uses X-rays to study crystals, to study minerals and that kind of thing. We also have equipment for studying hydrology. We have acoustic Doppler current profilers, which are these technologically advanced tools that are basically, they're little floats that you move across a river, and they use a Doppler, they use these sound waves that are used to determine the total flow in the river. And so it's a technique for studying water in the river. We also have LIDAR, which is the version we have is a terrestrial laser scanner, a tool that sits on a tripod that scans, determines the topography around it. We use that for studies of geomorphology. The LIDAR itself, again, is used to determine the topography around an area, and oftentimes it's used to detect change in topography. Another tool we use for that is a drone. We have a couple of drones. We have a pretty strong UAV drone project or component to our education, where we use the drones to fly a planned route. The result of the route of the flight and the photographs that are taken during the flight is both an elevation model similar to what the LIDAR technique provides for us, but also a georeferenced photo, a multispectral image of the area that's scale correct throughout the whole thing. We have a fleet of canoes, 16 of those, 4 rafts. So for just a field trip that might be just for, let's just go look at Santa Elena Canyon, let's go do it. We can do that, or there's enough space and we have the equipment and the capabilities and the skills to do trips that are science-oriented or education-oriented in the backcountry, in the Big Bend, on the river. So another thing that I'd like to say about Sul Ross Geology is that we have a strong undergraduate program. with field trips with the classes, et cetera, but we also have a very strong graduate program. All of the faculty are actively involved in research, and we utilize much of the analytical equipment in that research, the X-ray fluorescence and the scanning electron microscope and the X-ray diffraction. So some of the equipment we have is relatively advanced, and it's really well suited for graduate studies. I will frequently take students on 8-day science trips, and there's nothing quite like doing a full 8-day trip in an environment like Boquillas Canyon in Big Bend National Park. You are with these other people frequently on these trips. You don't see anyone else. And we do these trips, your cell phones don't work, you're out of touch with the outside world. You are there, you're with your student and your colleagues, and you're focused on research. And when it works, and it almost always does because we're pretty good at it and we're pretty well prepared, when it works, those are really satisfying trips. Again, it's very, very rewarding to see the students that learn from those experiences, and we specialize in those kinds of things at Sul Ross.